From speculation to sustainability, integrating Sharia principles and blockchain for a transparent financial future. Introduction. The modern financial system is driven by speculation, guaranteed returns, and unsustainable practices that often decouple economic activity from real-world productivity. Fixed income instruments like bonds, central bank policies of money printing, and excessive leverage have fueled systemic instability, widened inequality, and encouraged rent-seeking behavior. At its core, the system prioritizes short-term gains over long-term societal well-being. However, the principles of Sharia finance, grounded in fairness, risk-sharing, and asset-backed value creation, offer a compelling framework for reimagining this broken paradigm. When paired with blockchain tokenization, which enables transparency, verifiability, and accountability, these principles could pave the way for a sustainable, ethical financial system. 1. The failure of modern finance. Detached from real productivity. Modern finance often guarantees fixed returns through mechanisms such as government bonds, treasuries, and corporate debt. These instruments promise payouts regardless of economic growth or tangible productivity. Central banks exacerbate the problem by printing money to meet obligations, inflating asset bubbles, and distorting markets, perverse incentives, and rent-seeking. The system encourages capital to flow into low-risk financial instruments with predictable returns rather than funding real innovation or economic activity. This incentivizes institutions to extract value rather than create it, leading to the financialization of critical utility assets like housing. Systemic instability. Excessive leverage, compounded interest, and speculative markets create unsustainable cycles of boom and bust. The most vulnerable bear the consequences of inflation and economic collapse, while those closest to the money printer benefit disproportionately. Moral hazard. The safety net of guaranteed returns absolves investors and institutions of accountability. Governments and corporations are incentivized to take on excessive debt, transferring risk to society at large. 2. Sharia principles, a framework for financial discipline. Sharia finance addresses these failures by prioritizing shared risk, fairness, and asset-backed value creation. Eliminating riba interest. Fixed interest-based systems transfer all liability to borrowers, absolving lenders of risk. Sharia finance replaces this with profit and loss sharing, where both parties share the outcomes of an investment. This aligns incentives and fosters genuine economic partnerships. Avoiding gharar, excessive uncertainty. Sharia prohibits speculation and gambling, ensuring financial instruments reflect real value rather than speculative promises. Tying finance to tangible assets. Every financial transaction must be backed by a real asset or economic activity, creating a natural discipline in resource allocation. This principle eliminates the problem of money being created out of thin air and leveraged beyond its tangible backing. Promoting ethical and socially responsible investments. Sharia finance mandates that capital flow toward productive and beneficial activities, such as infrastructure, innovation, and real-world utility. Harmful or exploitative ventures such as gambling and speculative bubbles are avoided. These principles not only offer a moral framework, but also a practical solution to the economic distortions caused by modern finance. 3. Blockchain tokenization, a technological solution. While Sharia principles provide the ethical framework, blockchain technology delivers the tools needed to implement these principles at scale. Immutable ownership records. Blockchain tokenization ensures that ownership of assets, whether real estate, intellectual property, or productive projects, is transparent and auditable. This eliminates the risks of overpledging, double spending, and hidden liabilities that plague traditional systems. Real-world asset tokenization. Tangible assets, such as property, infrastructure, or energy resources, can be tokenized and fractionalized. This allows individuals to participate in investments previously reserved for large institutions, democratizing access to economic opportunities. Profit and loss sharing through smart contracts. Blockchain enables the automatic enforcement of profit sharing and risk sharing agreements through smart contracts. Returns can be distributed based on actual productivity and realized profits rather than arbitrary guarantees. Eliminating intermediaries. Decentralized finance, DeFi platforms reduce reliance on intermediaries like banks, creating a direct connection between investors and productive ventures. This minimizes rent seeking and ensures capital flows efficiently to its highest value use. This content is brought to you by Bobby Giggs. Promote your brand here and reach a wide audience across platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Follow the links in the description to get started. 4. Case study: Sharia-compliant models in blockchain sukuk and zero-coupon convertible bonds. Sukuk, or Islamic bonds, are a prime example of profit and loss sharing tied to real assets. In blockchain-based models, sukuk principles can be implemented through tokenized real-world assets, where investors share ownership and returns based on actual project success. Zero-coupon convertible bonds, which convert into equity at maturity, align perfectly with Sharia requirements by avoiding guaranteed interest payouts and tying returns to tangible outcomes. DePIN projects, decentralized physical infrastructure. Blockchain projects like Helium or Filecoin demonstrate Sharia compliance by pooling real-world resources, bandwidth, storage, or energy, into productive economic networks. These projects align with asset-backed value creation and shared risk. Shared ownership in real estate. Blockchain enables tokenized shared ownership models for housing and infrastructure, mirroring musharaka, diminishing partnership. Rent payments and ownership stakes can be transparently tracked and redistributed as participants buy out shares over time. 5. Vision for a sustainable financial future. Imagine a financial system that aligns capital with real productivity, transparency, and shared prosperity. Housing is no longer a speculative fixed-income asset, but a shared utility that benefits residents and investors alike. Intellectual property and creative works are funded through tokens representing real ownership, enabling creators to capture long-term value. Infrastructure and economic projects are funded by ethical, profit-sharing models that eliminate the moral hazard of guaranteed returns. Blockchain tokenization ensures transparency, accountability, and responsible resource allocation, preventing systemic risks caused by over-leveraging and speculative bubbles. By integrating Sharia principles with blockchain technology, we can replace short-term financialization with long-term value creation. This approach fosters fairness, accountability, and sustainability, ensuring that finance serves society rather than exploits it. Conclusion: modern finance's dependence on speculation, guaranteed returns, and artificial monetary policies has led to systemic fragility and societal harm. Sharia principles offer a time-tested framework for ethical finance, while blockchain provides the tools to implement these principles transparently and at scale. By aligning capital with tangible assets, shared risk, and productive outcomes, we can transition to a sustainable financial future that prioritizes fairness, value creation, and societal well-being. Fix the incentives. Fix the system. Fix the future.